Ladies and gentlemen, this is Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie, and the show starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. We are here on a Saturday, which is January the 10th, the year 2026. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Ronnie.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing this fine evening? I myself am doing just fine.
I'm in an awkward position here because I don't hear you if I don't have my earbud in. But when I'm quiet, which most people like it when I'm quiet, but when I'm quiet, I can hear you perfectly through my earbud. But when I talk, I hear two of me. And so, bunch of people in from X right now. So welcome. If you haven't seen us before, like us, share us, all, whatever those things are that you do. And Ronnie, tell them a little bit about who we are and what we do while I see if I can figure something out here.
All right. Well, we are Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie, Christian conservative web show podcast. We cover the news, serious events. We may even cover weather. We've got a lot of info coming in, a lot of info to go out. Please forgive me for my voice. I've had a sore throat for a couple of days now, and hoping I don't lose my voice. But I'm just sitting here. I've been tracking on Flight Tracker, and I'll quick share it to kind of give everybody a quick look at what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing for a little bit today. This is Flight Radar 24. I actually tracked a doomsday plane that took off from Camp David and flew through our neck of the woods here in Indiana. Went somewhere over here on the West Coast, joined up with another doomsday plane and disappeared. Literally right as the intro was ending, there was another doomsday plane flying around in Nebraska. And just as we went live, it landed. So I can't show you the doomsday plane, but a lot of people right now are freaking out about these doomsday planes. Oh, they saw one in LA and they saw one in New York or something. I don't recall, a couple different places, and people are freaking out. And all I can say is the doomsday planes are standard, especially with things going on right now. So did you get everything figured out over there?
We'll see. Right now, I'm about a second off. Which
all right, well, let's jump in here tonight with a little bit of a laugh. This is Donald Trump talking about our FLOTUS, our beautiful FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, and how she dislikes how Donald Trump dances.
My wife, by the way, my wife hates when I do this. She said, she's a very classy person, right? She said, it's so unpresidential. I said, but I did become president. She hates when I dance. I said, everybody wants me to dance. Darling, it's not presidential. She actually said, could you imagine FDR dancing? She said that to me. And I have to say this, the dancing they really like. She said they don't like it, they're just being nice to you. I said, that's not right. The place goes crazy.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man.
He is correct. The place does go crazy. We've covered the Donald Trump dance in a few videos a while ago. As a matter of fact, we should probably do some research and bring that back.
I've not looked over your video. It's very closely. I didn't notice if you had a John Kerry video.
I do not. Kennedy. So we had a huge influx of Kennedy videos earlier in the week. I actually, my oldest daughter, had sent me a Kennedy TikTok. It was ones that we had already seen. But she said, "Here, Dad, you can use this in your show." And I said, "Well, that's great," but I didn't get a chance to get it downloaded. I had other things going on. So I promise on Monday we will have a double dose of Senator Kennedyisms. It's what it's being called now, Kennedyisms.
Well, that's kind of funny because a friend of ours who is somewhere around Kennedy's age, or maybe a little older than him, his name is Ernie, and we say what he says as Ernieisms. So the ism part, I guess, is the humor, and we continue to get more listeners in from X, and we're glad that you're here with us. I'd have to look and see which it is on X, but follow us. We're on Monday, Wednesday, and either Friday or Saturday, as in that's why we're here tonight. We weren't able to go live last night. I personally had a funeral to do, and Ronnie had a previous engagement. And so we're here on Saturday. Again, Monday and Wednesday are pretty much set days, at least for now. And we try to get one in on either Friday or Saturday. We talk, we have fun, we provide our own opinions, we provide news coverage, and we got a little bit for hopefully just about everybody, except probably this guy.
Yeah, you know who needs to shut up? Ed and Ronnie and that red, white, and true bullcrap. Okay, time for you to go, troll.
I just made my wife real happy there, Ronnie.
She hates that.
She does hate that. Or we could, see our friends in D.C.
I stay updated by watching Ed and Ronnie.
That's what's up. That is what's up. I like that guy.
And I've got one more I want to do. If I can find him real quick. There he no, that I'm glad I didn't push that. That says Ed's Dance.
Oh, we're pushing
that
it.
That is not what I'm looking for.
Push it.
We're wanting.
You forgot I had control of that. I think you're muted. You're muted. We'll get this technical difficulties caught up eventually. It's the devil. We get on here and we speak the truth and we talk our minds and have a few laughs beforehand and afterwards and during, and there's always got to be something that tries to kick us while we're down. But that's okay, because we're still
our saying is do the right thing, and even Caroline likes to do the right thing.
And we urge Democrat senators to vote to reopen the government and to do the right thing.
So there you have it. Tells a little bit about us and a little bit not about us. And one last, for people that don't know. Oh, I found it. The one I wanted. Here is the guy. This guy says what we need to say.
Wake up, America. The rooster's been crowing and the sun is already high. It's time to open them ears and open that heart. Start listening to Ed and Ronnie, two fellas with a whole wagon load of sense, and watch their streams.
All right. That's what I was looking for.
That's right.
Ronnie, since we got some visitors here, hopefully, just give them a little bit about our heart about doing Red, White, and True.
Well, okay, so let's go back to the beginning. So we started 11/5/2024. Well, Pastor Ed Boston here. He already had a previous show. He invited me on as a senior political correspondent, and so I joined in just for a short while, and turned out we were online for what was it, 13 hours, 14 hours?
A long time.
Oh my goodness. We covered the entire election all the way from, well, by the time I got off work to the very, very end, which was very, very early in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock. I'd been awake for like 24, 25 hours, something like that. It was crazy. But it just kind of took off from there. And basically our heart is in the Christian conservative area. We follow news. We give our opinions. We just try to do the right thing. This past week has been very eventful with the news. We had the shooting in Minneapolis. There was another one in Portland. There are riots going crazy. There's plenty of stuff going on with Iran right now. So we just try and take everything and give it a little bit of heart, a little bit of truth, and a whole lot of facts. How about that? And we try not to do the red, white, and assume. We are red, white, and true. And if we say something that is not correct, we will come back and fix it. Unlike the people on TikTok who claim they have proof of all these things and then refuse to give me that proof. They tell me to Google it myself. And I don't think it works that way. But it is what it is. So how about we start with some stories? Oh, go ahead.
I found that one interesting.
Yeah. Everybody had all these
made
claims,
a comment,
no proof to back it up.
On your post, our post, yes, and then told you to Google something.
Yeah, you don't research it.
You don't even know this person, have no input in this conversation from their end, and they want to come on our post and tell us to Google something.
Yeah, it's my job to research their claims.
Yeah, okay. To research their comment. That just,
right.
Yeah.
That is right. So, the thing that's been bothering me this week is this guy right here. This real leader, stand up, Christian conservative. If you know me, if you don't know me, I am being a little bit of a turd because this guy is just left of Karl Marx. He has a foul mouth, and he is not a leader whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, Minneapolis's mayor, and I don't recall his name, Mayor Slappy, I guess. Here we go.
The way you put it, it's pretty grim. What you just said, and I think, to repeat for everybody, Donald Trump said that Renee ran the ICE agent over. Don't take my word for it. Don't take their word for it. Watch the video from every single angle. I mean, the ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips. He was not injured. I've seen worse injuries from doing that. And so give me a break. No, he was not ran over. He walked out of there with a hop in his step.
He walked out of there with a hop in his step. Have you seen the body cam footage? I don't believe I have it, but he didn't walk out of there with a hop in his step. That's a little ridiculous. That guy
and as you mentioned, Mr. Potty Mouth, I think his last name is Fry. But let's go back to the day that incident happened.
There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want...
I understand being frustrated. I understand being frustrated. I understand a serious situation has happened, but come on, man, you're a leader. Stand up and act like one. Stop being a baby.
Well, I'm thinking if I'm in that situation and he is the leader and I'm the family of the person that was killed, or even anybody close, I don't look at that as leadership.
No.
That's not going to comfort me to hear the mayor of my city, town, wherever it is that you live, drop the F-bomb in front of the whole world because the whole world was watching. That does not give me any comfort. And even if I wasn't a pastor, that would not give me comfort.
No. If I lived in Minneapolis, I would have no faith in my leadership. And this also happened at a McDonald's.
In this McDonald's in Minneapolis, there's a sign on the door that says ice is not allowed. We couldn't help but notice there's a sign that says no ice on the door.
Yeah, just to let you know, at the end of the day, this is private property. Mm-hmm. So you can't just break the law because you're a federal agent. It's like coming into your house or coming to any other restaurant. There's rules. So.
Did the manager put that on the door? How did that get there?
I'm not sure, but it's there.
How do you guys enforce it?
They read the sign. At the end of the day, you have all right to come in and make a purchase. It's just there's rules and regulations. You can't just walk behind the counter.
I like this taser-armed rent-a-cop that can't even form a complete sentence, but to keep ice from coming into McDonald's.
I think they were really talking about the ice machine.
Yeah. Well, I know the ice cream machine in McDonald's is always broken. Maybe
and we know that at McDonald's, ice cream machines are always broken.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's just part of the American way.
No ice cream. So not only do we have Mayor Potty Mouth and his direct warning to ICE members, immigration's custom and enforcement agents, that's what we're referring to, is not allowed at that particular McDonald's, which from what I understand, that sign is now gone and some people were disciplined for that.
Yeah, I think corporate got involved.
Yes, I believe that's true. This is also going on to really hurt the immigration's customs enforcement officers.
Right now, we are in downtown Minneapolis. We've been following this protest outside of a hotel where these protesters believe federal agents may be staying. And just in the last few seconds, it appears they're trying to get actually inside this hotel, truly making as much noise as humanly possible to this point, banging on drums, blowing their whistles, out with their signs as well. This is at least the second hotel they have been to in the downtown Minneapolis area, appearing to be under the belief that agents are staying at the hotels at which they arrive. This is the latest stop where they've made their move here to just oh, and you know what? I'm going to turn here. You can see the lights that they were shining on the sides of the building here, trying to get into some of the windows with that light, which we saw them doing previously on the other side of the building as well. Clearly, we knew there was anger here with federal immigration agents being in the city of Minneapolis, and these protesters making it known they do not want them, not only in the city, but not even staying in the hotels here in the city.
Oh boy. Computer. Wow. Real maturity level there. There are ways to do things. There are ways not to do things. And I don't understand how that's allowed. That doesn't make sense to me how that's allowed. But, if you want to bang on your pots and pans and
disturbing the peace,
right.
Weren't they all over streets and everything like that?
Yes. They've been stopping traffic.
Disrupting traffic, idiots! You can't do that. That's against the law. I'm not gonna start throwing fists at y'all, bro. I'm not gonna run y'all over. Get away from my car, bro. Get away from my car! Bro, get away from my car. I have a daughter in Brooklyn! Don't touch him! Get in your car! Get the fuck out of the way! Run him over! Run him over! Don't touch him! Get out of the way! I have to get home! Run him over!
Peaceful protest, mostly peaceful protest, as CNN would describe it.
I'm going to go back, and in Governor Walz's press conference of that day, after he gave his initial words, he turned it over to like the public safety something or another, and that guy went through things that you can do in a protest and things that you can't do in a protest. And he actually was spot on with what he said. You can't block streets. That's not your right. That's not your First Amendment right to block streets, to block law enforcement, to interfere in official. Well, I don't know how much of all of that he said, but he gave the basics, and obviously one of those he used that you can't block a street. That's just not the way it happens in the real world.
No. To me, I guess they're acting like mosquitoes. A million mosquitoes, and a million mosquitoes bites a dog's butt. Eventually, the dog's going to scratch or get up and go away. But to me, this is just complete and utter childishness, juvenile. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words on this. This is just ridiculous. So,
I'm a fan of this girl. We've had her on here, her videos on here several times. Trevor took care of me and beeped out because she doesn't really cuss a lot on most of them, but every once in a while she gets worked up. But let's listen to that opinionated girl.
Renee Good was a good woman who was murdered by an ICE agent.
No, she wasn't. Are we really going to do the George Floyd thing all over again where we act like somebody must have been a good person just because they're dead now? Because honestly, it's disgusting. Both of them were abusive pieces of shit. George Floyd robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint and y'all gave him a gold casket. Renee Good lost custody of 2 of her kids because she prioritized being with an abusive piece of shit that used children as an ashtray rather than the safety of her own kids. And you guys are riding out in the streets for her. Meanwhile, when Laken Riley, an actual good person, was murdered by an illegal alien, you guys said all. In fact, many Democrats refused to even stand up for her parents at Trump's congressional address. That just goes to show that you don't care about actual victims. You don't care about actual good people. Irina Zartuska got her throat cut open. Meanwhile, she was minding her own business on a train because she was a white woman as her aggressor walked away saying, "I got that white." That your liberal activist judges allowed to get out of jail multiple times, 14 times, and you guys let him out of jail. But you guys didn't want to say anything about her because you don't care about victims. You don't care about standing up for the innocent. You care about creating a narrative that you guys should be immune from the consequences of your own actions. Renee Good was not a child. She was fully aware of what she was doing. She was fully aware when she made eye contact with that ICE agent and decided to floor it anyway. She was fully aware when she was obstructing traffic in order to impede on lawful activities that ICE agents were carrying out. She knew what she was doing. She around. She found out. We don't have to martyr her. We don't have to glorify her, and we certainly shouldn't be rioting for her. If you care about innocent victims, I'll believe you when you start talking about the actual innocent.
Boom, mic drop. Absolute mic drop right there.
And why we're not hearing more people say that, actually there are plenty of people saying that people that you and I know say that. but we watch video after video of people that they're like in an alternate reality somewhere. It's like you and I can watch the same video that they watch, and what they say happens isn't supported by what the video shows. They have made up a a dialogue that just isn't right.
No, it's dangerous. This little gem right here is sitting here telling everybody about how she quit her job to be there.
I quit my job for this, and I've been having flare-ups and stuff, so it's like I can barely, and I have panic attack. You said when you heard the sirens, you immediately ran out. Where were you? I was about 15 minutes away. And what were you doing? I was disassociating on my bed. I mean, I might as well put my time to something useful. If you've seen the video, everything, it was not self-defense by that terrorist. It was not.
How did your boss respond when you quit?
It was like a part-time. I'm getting back after a lot happened recently in my life, so sometimes disability takes my life over, and I'm still kind of in shock. Like,
school's been canceled. Have people been taking off work for this? Have you had to take off work for this?
She said that ICE agent is a terrorist. Thoughts? She quit her part-time job to be there, and looks like she's really changing the world.
Liberals really are wearing their emotions right on their sleeves. This one, we've seen lots of screaming and yelling in about what happened in both Portland and Minneapolis, but then there is, let's change gears a little bit and let's go to Portland for a second and listen to their police chief as he describes what happened.
I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday. But it is important that we stay committed to the rule of law, that we stay committed to the facts, that we stay a trustworthy and legitimate police department for all of Portlanders. They do have some nexus to involvement with TDA. We can confirm that. We know that we had a shooting in Northeast Portland in July of this year, and the victim in that shooting was self-identified as a Venezuelan immigrant who informed us that the suspects in that shooting were associated with TDA.
Poor baby.
He just couldn't stand to admit that not only were they from Venezuela, but they were part of a terrorist organization.
Again, we talked earlier about leadership with Mayor Pottymouth, and in this case, a police chief.
Yes.
This is, you would think that with a police chief would come experience. And experience, there are other issues and conditions and things that have happened, accidents, crime scenes, murders, suicides, all kinds of spectrum of other things. And this is what makes him get up and cry.
Let's just be a little bit looking at this situation from a straight on view. Nobody died in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
How in the world? Okay, so when I think of Portland, I think Antifa.
Oh,
now,
yes.
if that
Chop,
is
or whatever
what
it was.
there is, go ahead.
Chop, wasn't that in Portland?
Yep.
That little zone that they had sanctioned off or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Basically, they took over a portion of the city, and this guy led them, or it could be the previous chief of police or whatever. But no wonder Antifa can get by with what they do when that is who they go up against. Bad guys go up against good guys.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be the good guy. No wonder Antifa can do as they will in cities like Portland.
Exactly. There's no leadership there to stop them. And that's, I think, in all honesty, what it boils down to is that's why everybody hates Donald Trump. Orange man bad. Because Donald Trump came in and he acts like a leader. He acts like a father. He's not going to put up with this stuff. And that's why people hate him. And that's why people hate cops in general. Firefighters, you call them, they come, they put your fire out, they rescue the kitten from the tree. But when you see a cop, they're there for something bad, or they're there that you did something wrong. And people don't want that. People don't want that. And Donald Trump's had enough.
So Donald Trump seems to have had enough of these people attacking ICE agents. He posted this on Truth Social. I am on my way back from Texas and watching in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and/or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen, in that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE Homeland Security or any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, or any other forms of assault to stop their car and arrest these slimeballs, using whatever means necessary to do so. I am giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself, just like they protect the public. I never want to see a card-carrying law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I go into more detail.
Yeah. Sounds like Daddy's home.
Yeah. In my house growing up, when you did something like throw rocks or disrespect the police, you didn't want Daddy to come home.
No.
Of course, I had no inclination to do that. Your mom says that, I'm lived a sheltered life and different things like that when I was that age. But it would have never entered my mind to do that, to throw rocks at police. And we're not talking about pebbles. We're talking about projectiles that can hurt and or kill. Right. And we're hearing about them throwing off of overpasses and things like that. To me, that's attempted murder.
Absolutely. Just like when Ms. Good, or whatever her name was, attempted to ram the ICE agent, that's attempted murder. It could have been murder. Rocks, bricks, not water bottles, okay, whatever, but it just, all of this is just infuriating to me. There are people out there in Portland and Minnesota, and they're acting like children. And look at this. Let me see, where's it at? This is in Minneapolis, and we had just talked about CHOP and all that in Portland. This is again in Minneapolis.
This is sacred ground.
Yeah.
A woman died here.
I mean, a woman did die here. A woman was murdered here in cold blood.
There's nobody preventing a car from plowing through here.
Is that why the barrier's up?
Yeah,
But the barriers wouldn't stop an SUV.
No, they're kind of symbolic.
Look at these barriers, man. Some scooters here. A television. A bike, tires, old refrigerator. Another one. Door. Trash cans and recycling. Same on this side here.
And I done been through the George Floyd riots, and then I've been living here over, it'll be going on 2 years now. And when I woke up yesterday and my neighbor came and got me, she was like, come outside, ICE was out there. They just killed somebody. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, you see F ICE on the sign over there. ICE are terrorists here. Murdered by ICE here. ICE out of Minneapolis here.
I'm here to make sure Minneapolis doesn't burn to the ground this time. This isn't 2020.
What's it going to take for a sense of calm to come back to the city?
A sense of calm, the people like doing what they're doing right now, sticking together, just like we did through the George Floyd riots. But one thing about Minnesota, we always stick together.
Well, good, Minnesota. You guys stick together and keep acting like children.
How about we stick together there?
Right? We, the people who have common sense, need to stand up for all officers and have their six at all times. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. This guy's got a good idea, though.
Been out all day putting Trump stickers on rioters' cars, then sitting back watching them destroy each other's cars.
I love that one.
Yes.
Oh
my.
We know.
You got anything on? You got anything else on this?
Not on those two subjects.
I've got a little bit more. Let me knock it out of here. So, apparently at the scene, there was a doctor at the crash in Minneapolis. For some reason, they wouldn't let the doctor come in, and that sparked quite a bit of grief.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor. You caught butter in the face. You killed my neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the do you do?
How do you show up to work every day? Well, I get in my car and I go to work, and I do my job, which is immigrations, customs, and enforcement.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give my little soliloquy here. This is dangerous. Whether you see that he hit that ICE agent and he shot her in cold blood, or if you see that she hit that ICE agent and he defended himself in accordance with all granted law to any law enforcement officer, because a moving vehicle that she put in drive and put her foot on the gas because her wife was standing there saying, "Go, baby, go." If you see it as murder or self-defense, there's a separation happening here, and it's getting dangerous, just like in George Floyd. In 2020, the George Floyd riots, the mostly peaceful riots that burned down a lot of Minneapolis, and people were killed. People need to calm down. The pressure, the blood pressure in this country needs to lower. I don't know what's going to take to do that. Obviously the shooting in Portland a few days later, it does not help. It does not help when you've got Governor Walz, talking about deploying the National Guard, and the mayor, get the F out of. I'm just afraid this is a powder keg about to blow again, and people just need to calm down and realize that we're all in this together. We should all follow the truth and not your personal opinion, whether ICE is bad or Orange Man bad or, Renee good or whatever her name was is bad. I think everybody should just calm down and look at the facts. And in today's world, there's so many cameras, and I believe there are several camera angles on that. And I don't want to go through them again because we did the other day, but I think people just need to watch it and set their political beliefs, or if their ICE bad beliefs aside, and please, if anybody's listening, please calm down and just look at the facts. Look at the red, white, and true.
That's it. I think you have a
I do have.
I was reading a message that came to us. We do segments on occasion. We'd planned to do them each live stream that we do, but we get one in, at least one in a week. And Ronnie, I think you've got a segment, and it's probably a good time to use that.
Well, actually, I do. It is not complete. I don't have everything quite done for it yet. But I do have a little speech here. So we all know January 1, Mamdani took over as governor of New York City. I was working on a segment called the Mamdani Effect. This guy here.
It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your natty. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your nanny. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your nanny. Go ahead, make a rap for your nanny. It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your natty. Spin the rack. So I leave my work on like Shakira. I so white, call me a mulera. Jagara cura de good nera. Just wanna put you in my cabera. So I check my baggage for some scenting. Wagaranyo, kukuri rente.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of New York City, something Mamdani, whatever his rap had. Now, we were just talking about Portland and Minneapolis and ICE agents and everything, and this fine gentleman who is now mayor of one of the largest cities in the world, this is how he wants everybody to react to ICE.
If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this and tell you that they have the right to arrest you. That is false. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask, am I free to go, repeatedly, until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE, as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. It is important to remain calm during any interaction with ICE or law enforcement. Do not impede their investigation, resist arrest, or run.
Now, I can see how some of that might lower the anger level towards ICE, but I'm not sure, but I don't think some of those facts are correct. ICE agents are the same as law enforcement agents and should be treated as such. Do you agree?
I was just trying to figure out how he was telling them how to resist ICE. And then at the end, he said, don't resist ICE.
Yeah, pretty much. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. But nevertheless, this guy takes over and you know, I'm going to give him a shake. He already promised, you know, lower prices on things. And as of January 4, I believe, taxes in MTA, their bus and subway transit was raised by $3 or $4. I don't exactly remember. So, you know, promises made, promises broken. But these guys here decided to take a little bit of time and have a little fun at Mamdani's expense.
Zoran Mamdani's mayor in New York.
So everything's free now.
Can I get the Mamdani special? 1 free hot dog?
Mamdani? What's a Mamdani?
Free hot dog special. Everything's free now.
No.
That'll be $4.68.
No, it's supposed to be free. It's Mamdani's New York now. Everything's free.
According to who?
Well, I'm not going to pay for it. Just get one of these. I'll get this. And I'll get a Kit Kat. Thank you.
Hey, what are you doing?
Everything's free now.
Ain't nothing free, man.
Is this one of those Mamdani grocery stores where everything's free?
No.
No? So I have to pay?
Yes.
New mayor, they told me.
Whatever it is, it's not a government owned.
Oh, it's not oh, okay.
Can I get a free ride to Central Park?
Where are you going?
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's free. It's transport.
Wait, the subway's free?
So runs New York City. Come on. Jump over there and get the door for me.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you, bro.
No,
Thank
no
you.
worries.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
So unfortunately, you know, when he campaigned on the promises of free things and on all that, that's not happening. Now, he did speak with Donald Trump there. He had a meeting together. It seemed to go well. I don't know all the details on it, but we'll give him a fair shake and see how he does. But
I think that's what Trump was doing when they met together. He was just trying to give him a fair shake. So, I mean, Trump knows what's going to go on.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie has made it perfectly clear how he is going to govern, what he's going to do, what he believes. And so, you know, Trump almost has to let him hang himself. Oh, can you say that?
He gave him the rope.
Yep. He sure did.
He gave him the rope. So,
and you know, I feel like you do tonight. Frustrated at all of this stuff.
Yes.
And so unless you have another video that we need, there is a story going on in the world that really, really, really ought to be the top story of what's going on, would be any other week except this week. And that's what's going on in Iran.
Yes. I don't have anything else to cover. I am good to go straight to Iran.
Well, we should go to Iran and help the protesters there.
Right? Absolutely.
Oh, so if there's liberals listening, they say, we don't like the protesters in Minneapolis, but the ones in Iran are all okay. If you had a regime like the fanatical Islamists that have ruled in Iran since about 79, I think, 78, 79, then I might listen to you. You know, they want to say that Trump is a dictator and you know, all these different things that they say about him. They've lived it in Iran since the late 70s. Every single day of their life. They're burning things down. And boy, it almost sounds like Minneapolis and the exact opposite. You see, they don't know anything about freedom in Iran. They don't know what it's like to have the right to protest. They don't know anything other than a regime that treats women horribly, treats gays horribly. You know, they mow down people as within firearms when they get out of line. Ronnie, what have you been seeing happening in Iran?
I'm actually trying to pull it up right now so we can share a little bit of what's going on here. If it'll do it for me. Yeah, this comment right here. It's wild over there. They're burning the regime buildings. Absolutely. I don't know. There we go. I don't know why it's not wanting to play. Let me refresh it here. Why is it when we need to do something, sometimes these computers or microphones or something's going to go down? All right, here's the video if it'll pop up in, volume and all that noise. Damn it, it's junk. What in the world?
Mass.
It only plays when I click the play button for like a second. Oh boy.
They are wrong.
All right, I'm done with MSN. We'll find something else here, so just stick by us. This is crazy.
Well, Trump put
now
out
it's
a
playing in my ear.
post. Iran is looking at freedom, perhaps like never before. The USA stands ready to help President Donald J. Trump. That was just a little bit ago, within the last couple of hours. And,
yeah, that's leadership.
some people
US
say,
is
well,
ready
he
to help.
threatened if they did that at all, and they have been. I'm just saying he's probably in that FAFO state, and the FO is getting ready to drop.
Exactly.
And
I love that.
it's not just in Tehran,
FAFO.
it's all over the entire country.
Oh, yes. Come on.
¿A dónde ves? ¡Chúrnala, presidente!
Anti-government protests in Iran have entered a 13th day as the country faces economic turmoil. It's one of the most significant challenges to the Iranian regime in years. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tayeb has more.
Well, what we're seeing across Iran is not just a series of isolated protests. It is a nationwide movement that has now swept through all 31 provinces. Now, what began as discontent over the collapsing economy, things like rising prices, a plunging currency, and chronic power and water outages, but it's now rapidly evolved into something more widespread. It is anger at the entire system. Now, security forces have been deployed in force, and rights groups are now reporting dozens have been killed and many more injured and arrested as these clashes continue to escalate. We're also hearing reports of protesters confronting riot police who are firing back not only with tear gas, but also reportedly live fire. So as you can see, the leadership in Tehran is responding with an incredibly harsh crackdown. In fact, the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, has vowed to crush what he calls anti-revolutionary elements, while hardline commanders are also pushing for zero tolerance. Still, the protest continues. People like students, workers, merchants, and ordinary families out on the streets, not just demanding relief from economic pain, but many are openly chanting against the leadership and the clerical establishment itself. So the latest really is this: a large, sustained, and increasingly defiant movement that is confronting a leadership determined to hold on, even as that leadership's legitimacy is clearly under strain in ways we have not seen in years. Back to you.
Imtiaz Tayeb, thank you.
Moving overseas now, Iranian officials have cut off and urged Iranians to make their voices heard. The protests started over worsening economic conditions and have grown to include calls for regime change. Dozens of people.
Now, real quick, what do you think of that? Do you think that there's going to be a regime change over there?
I do. I do.
Yeah, I do as well, and I truly hope so. How much better would it be for, Iran
and the world?
The world, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And,
Well,
and
people
Donald Trump pledges support, and we all should as well.
biggest supporter of biggest state supporter of terrorism in the world. I mean, think about all the things that have gone on with Israel since October the 7th, all bases around Iran.
Absolutely.
The Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, the groups in Syria and Iraq, the left bank, Judea and Samaria is better. It'll be better for the world if this regime is out. It will be a time of great celebration, and I have a feeling, we kind of got away from me telling you that I had a feeling that we may be back sooner. I have a feeling that before we come on for Monday, that we will be back on live to talk about either the United States has intervened or they have toppled the government in Iran, one of the two. And that may be fast. It may be later, but I believe it's going to happen, and I believe it's going to happen soon.
And I really hope so. And for anybody out there who's new to Red, White, and True, we do our best to cover live breaking news. We did last week a 2:30 in the morning one for an hour and a half, and then we came back on at 11 that morning for the press conference, and then we came back on at 7 that evening. So,
and that was the Venezuela situation.
Yes, it was. We covered that one fairly well, I believe. So, if something pops off with this in Iran or anything else in Portland or Minneapolis, we most likely will be back. So stick with us. We try to bring you as much as we can. We got a couple more minutes, so I figure we can watch this a little bit here. And I think Donald Trump speaks here in a little bit.
People have died and more than 2,000 have been detained in the demonstrations over the last 2 weeks. Wow. This morning, Iran's supreme leader vowed he would not back down. He also accused President Trump of inspiring the protests. Meanwhile, Trump has threatened action if Iran kills protesters. Samantha Vinograd is with me now to discuss. Sam, it's great to see you. Can you set the table for us and talk about?
So Donald Trump said that we would intervene if protesters were killed. Is that what I just heard?
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I think. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What else we got here? Ladies talking. They talk forever. How about this?
Thing you've seen before?
No. I have seen this in November, bloody November in 2019, but now it's different because people actually using their own social media, people actually using their own names. They're showing their faces. They have no fear to say that loud. President Trump, we need your help. This is what the people of Iran are saying now. And I'm telling you why. Because this is a war against people. The regime actually waged war against its own people. When they shut down the internet, Ali Khamenei is using or saying now. And
I'm going to go back here because I believe she said something about President Donald Trump wanting him there.
Social media, people actually using their own names. They're showing their faces. They have no fear to say that loud. President Trump, we need your help. This is what the people.
President Trump, we need your help. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty cool.
Well, from all the way to the son of the former Shah of Iran, to the people walking the streets, I don't say they have hope in Donald Trump, and maybe they do. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. But they have hope because someone has said, we care about you and we'll do something to help you.
Yes.
And you got to believe that he's going to do what he says. I mean,
Absolutely.
You know, I don't know how many times the old FAFO saying has to go before people start believing it. Well, you know, let's see what I got here. I got something. You know, Maduro learned.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander in chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
I love that.
And you know, that speech right there reminds me of my favorite president, because that's what would happen.
Barack Obama?
Yeah. Oh, I can't hit the screen. That the Gipper, Ronald Reagan, when he said something, I mean, he was so bad that Iran released our hostages the day he took office because they were scared to death of him. They thought that Tehran was going to be a parking lot.
Absolutely. A big glass parking lot.
Yes. And it's been the way it is now since that point in time.
That's right.
The radicals that are there, and radical is not even a strong enough word to describe that regime in Iran. They are the Muslims in general that say they follow the Quran, but ones that truly follow the Quran to the letter of the way it's meant, they're the worst of those. Now, there are Muslims that are peace-loving Muslims. There's probably some right here in our community. I know some families that, you know, I'd sit down and eat dinner with them. But the Quran basically says either you convert or we kill you.
Right. Absolutely.
And they're the worst of that.
And again, that's dangerous.
And the people that we're seeing in those protests, unlike the ones in Minneapolis and Portland and every big city that's been going crazy lately, their lives are not in danger. You know, they would tell you, oh, look what happened to Renee Good. If you want to compare what happened to Renee Good with what's happening in Iran, you have zero credibility and even less brain.
Absolutely.
Because Renee Good has a wife, or had a wife. So if she was over there, she wouldn't have to worry about protesting because they would have killed her.
Oh yeah, they were a lesbian couple, and that's not okay over there.
No, not a bit.
No.
Which makes the signs that back when they were, you know, gays for Palestine.
Yeah.
have mercy.
That cracked me up because those gays for Palestine, if they were actually over there, they would be thrown off of buildings and stoned and stuff like that. So it really made no sense.
Yeah, they would find out what coming out gets you in a country like Iran or in areas like Gaza.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't tell me that Renee Good is the same as those protesters in Iran. They're not, we say fairly regularly that we are not like them when we're talking about Americans who have lost their minds about every little thing. Well, she is not them.
No.
She is not them.
And from what I understand, Miss Renee Good wasn't that good. I believe she lost custody of 2 of her children, a lot of domestic violence cases, and something about putting cigarettes out on her children's arms and stuff. So,
yeah,
she had been following those ICE agents all day. It seems to me she wasn't as good as they claim.
Well, and I didn't realize this. She's not even from Minneapolis. She recently moved. I believe she recently moved there from Kansas City.
Wow.
We should look into that a little bit
just
more.
for the ICE thing, or
I don't know on that. I don't know. But I'm just going to be speculating, so I won't do that. I'll say it this way. Where were her kids when she was out breaking the law?
Well, from what I understand, she lost 2 of her kids. So I don't know how many she has. Was it 3?
Yeah, 3 is.
So she had one that was apparently unattended while she was chasing ICE around. The best part of it was JD Vance, and I've got this video, and we'll play it real quick. But their press conference, it's a minute and a half. It was phenomenal.
Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it. The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws. The President stands with ICE, I stand with ICE, we stand with all of our law enforcement officers. And part of that is recognizing that you people in the media, not everybody in this room, but many people in this room have been lying about this attack. She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded in law enforcement operations before, and everybody who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you.
Bam.
And that's it. Well, and I don't know if you have a video of the Laura Ingraham when she was out interviewing people in Minneapolis. And
I did, and I literally just deleted it because I didn't think we had any more time. But all she was doing was asking people if they had a job, and one woman said, "I get paid to be here." She was a protester.
You mean they have paid protesters?
Oh, absolutely.
There's such a thing as a paid protester?
I wouldn't think so, but apparently, let's see if I can.
Can you put that on your resume?
Paid protester. Oh my goodness.
Some places that might get you the job, but in other places it might be a disqualifying thing.
Right.
Well, as he looks for that, we want to thank you all for being with us. And Ronnie, whenever you get it, just say.
Absolutely.
But thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting us. I've not even been able to tell Ronnie about this compliment that we got, and I'll do it after we get off the air. But we got a compliment from a person that we know, she may even be in here, about how we are able to explain the news in a way that they don't hear in mainstream media. She said that we just break it down in a way that makes it easy for her to understand. And so I'll tell Ronnie all about that in private, but thank you for your support. We want to grow this. We want to be able to be on at the drop of a hat, not just have a plan for Monday, Wednesday, either Friday or Saturday. So we love you and love the support that you give us. We may be asking you for more support in the future. We've got some ways we're looking at to be able to grow this thing. And so, Ronnie, you got what we were looking for?
It's spinning right now, so just to spin it away. So
the old buffer.
Right,
the old
right.
buffer.
We got Bill and Tanya here. George Soros funded. Absolutely. I like this one. You might be able to put it on your EBT application. But here we go. So this is Laura Ingram's. She went out on the street and got the real word from everyone.
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human race.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now. Shame! Shame!
She looked at somebody and gave him the thumbs up.
We'll do that one again because it's only 11 seconds.
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human race.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now. Shame! Shame!
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Well,
and
she's
in all honesty, this compliment right here just man, that got me right in the feels. Thank you guys. I love you both. Keep telling the truth. Love you guys. That got me right here. I really appreciate it.
Well, Ronnie's not. Are you feeling bad, or is your throat just messed up, or both?
Yeah, I feel fine. It's just my throat's sore, and I don't know. Just it hits me like my mama every so often throughout the year, and then I'll lose my voice for a day or two, and then I'm back in the game. But yeah, I don't feel as bad as I sound.
So, that being said, thank you all for being with us. We'll be back regularly scheduled Monday. If we have to be back before, we'll do that. I don't do predictions anymore, other than what I said earlier about this one. The story behind that
was Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah, the story behind that is a couple of times in the past I've said, and there wasn't any, there was no advance notice on the Charlie Kirk issue, and I had said a day or two before that, I just have a feeling something's about to break loose, and yeah, it broke loose, and that happened twice. And after the second time, I said, no more predictions on that. So we'll
just tell you if something big happens, we'll come back. But
there you go. So thank you for being with us. God bless you. And until we see you again, go out and do the right thing.
From the heart of America to the heart of DC, everyone likes Ed and Ronnie.